We always start the podcast with laughing because that's how we that's what we do. Welcome to Femprenuer True Confessions podcast. That's what we do. We laugh. We're full of joy. Damn it.
Be happy around here.
Be happy, damn it. I had an old coworker who used to say, I want to just do it, damn it button on my computer. She always used to say that.
Yeah.
I miss Kathy. Well, today's podcast is a little different. One, you'll notice we don't have a guest. It's just us, spring chickens here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love it that way. We're doing things a little differently. And we did say we had a big announcement. It's coming a little bit late, but per reasons why, you'll now understand why. So
yeah,
it makes a whole lot of sense and it feels a whole lot of great. So amazing things. But I think you guys all know who we are, what we do, what we're about, and really, honoring that in all that we've kind of done, and now in a moment of honoring ourselves. And so
it was hard. It was hard to make this decision, to come to this decision, and it took time to digest and process because of all the things. But the title of today's episode, so you may have already gathered that we are pressing pause with the podcast. And we're trying to practice what we've been preaching for over 3 years, right? We've thought it through. It feels aligned. This is intentional. It's not something that just popped up. It's actually been rolling around for a while for both of us. Yeah. So anyway, and we're just being honest. We're just, and like, we're trying to just practice what we preach. And we're just putting things on hold. We don't know if that means it's never coming back. It's coming back next week. We don't know.
Right. It might all of a sudden change. But that's the beauty of it. And that's why we're talking about we're practicing what we're preaching. We are saying that through all the years of having the podcast, it has been a passion project for Angelique and I. And I think sometimes along the way, we lost sight of that. Sometimes our guests lost sight of that. And there's been a lot of push and pull and challenge and different things. And it can come down to, there are people we've had to say no to. This, I don't think this aligns. There are people who where everything, it seems really, really wonderful. And we just weren't their cup of tea. And they made that clear to us. So we've put ourselves out there for 3 years, highly vulnerable. And this year, with the start of this year for both of us, Angelique and I, this is a big spiritual year. This is a big year energetically.
For everybody, y'all, for everybody. We recognize that.
Yeah. And we've got plans. We both have things going on. And through all of that, we had this happening. And we love all of you. But what we're hoping and guessing will probably happen is that more people will start to continue. We've seen so many podcasts come in that are discussing a lot of the same things. Doors are opening. People are being open and vulnerable and talking. And we love seeing it. So we're hoping that, by doing what we need to do for us, others are now stepping into that role of
modeling, right? Modeling it.
Yeah.
That's like what we weren't seeing that. So we wanted to do it for others. And I've always really appreciated when other women have, stepped out of the conditioned responses and done something really refreshing. And I'm like, wow, I really like that. I think I'm going to do that too, because they modeled it for me. They modeled it for me and it made it okay. Right. To do it too. But one of the things I wanted to bring up is I've been very transparent about feeling kind of burnt out. At the end of the year, I was just like, man, I couldn't wait for my time off because I was feeling so burnt out. And I didn't want to make this decision in that state either. Right. So kept thinking, I'm going to wait till I'm more clear-headed. I feel more rested. I feel more, whatever, not burnt out.
Yeah.
more filled up. And so there's that too, so if this isn't about, oh, you just burnt yourself out. No, I wasn't I wasn't. And I don't believe Laura was either, is neither one of us are feeling burnt out right now. A little, but not burnt out.
Not burned out. That's not the feeling. I know that one, but yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes the most powerful move is to stop long enough to listen. And I know that the time that I had off and then the slow easing back into it allowed me that space to really listen and hear where things feel aligned and where they don't. And I think it really ties back into our core philosophy, alignment over autopilot, right? And that growth doesn't always look like expansion. Growth can be inside, and that, expansive inside, but sometimes we don't see that growth on the outside, right? And material things or physical things, tangible things even. Right. And pressing pause, I just feel like by doing this, we're creating space for more and not less.
Yeah.
And so, I was getting, and I can't speak for Laura, I can only speak for myself, but we have talked about this as well. But modeling what it looks like to follow our inner signals, the inner voice, the intuition, the nudges, and things like that. So we want to model it. We want to be transparent about it. We want to encourage other women out there that are doing all the things to do it too. And we have talked about sustainability, boundaries, discernment, collaboration over competition, abundance mindset, all of that for the past over 3 years. And it's all been for a reason. I think that's what's actually led us here. Right? Yeah. To making these decisions. And it was really interesting when we started looking at, we wanted to refer people. Like, we are still getting people who want to be a guest, right? Right. A lot of agencies picked up the podcast and started sending us guests. And that is fantastic. Talk about growth, right? So we were looking through the list, we had just had Kathy Burns on, and we're like, so what kind of podcast do you have, Kathy? She's like, well, I talk about women's stories, and I spotlight women who in business talking about their entrepreneurial journey. And I'm like, you do the same kind of podcast we do? And she's like, yeah, pretty much. And so it was almost serendipity. Because we started looking at other podcasts we wanted to refer people to. And of course, we send a message to them. We're like, hey, we're pressing pause. We want to be able to refer people. Can we refer people to you? We think you're in alignment. Yes. 3 out of the 4 people we reached out to, including Kathy, said, no, we're pressing pause right now. What? Yeah. Not what, like, how dare you, but.
Right.
So
it makes sense.
It makes sense that because we feel aligned with them and they're pressing pause, it's like, wow, it's more like confirmation than a slap in the face. Like,
Oh yeah, no. Because we wanted to give, we do want to say, hey, everybody, please go check out.
Yes, we still want women to have a platform for their voices, right?
So as we find them, we'll let you guys know. But there's a lot of people pressing pause, and that's amazing for them. Because those decisions aren't made lightly, as we've said, and that's the fact that that's happening is very, like you said, confirming for us as well, where we didn't hit burnout. We paid attention to what was going on. We've learned, we've transformed. You guys have seen us grow through the last 3 years. We've seen all of you amazing people grow as well for the last 3 years. And I think all of that has been and so we're not burned out. We're not running from anything. We're running towards a whole bunch of things that we're
many things
into, or, my higher self, or again, we're back to whatever you call it. But I think a lot of people are being pushed into very purposeful, intentional things. And when you do that, you gotta go, because it gets louder, at least in my world. I don't know, the voice in my head gets louder.
Don't get me going down that rabbit hole. Had a really cool conversation yesterday about avoidance and how, we end up avoiding ourselves right back into whatever it is we're avoiding.
Right.
And that avoidance is really based in scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
And that hit me like a punch in the stomach. Because of course I have things that I'm avoiding, right?
Mm-hmm.
that aren't that
Sure.
it's we all do, but
Yeah.
I never saw it framed that way, and it was eye-opening.
Mm-hmm. I like
And
that.
super
Very
grateful for the support system I have, the people that are in my life, the coaches that I have, the mentors, all the people, because nobody does this alone. You shouldn't feel like you should have to do it alone. And I've heard that a lot lately from women, is
Mm-hmm.
that I'm doing this alone. I'm by myself. I'm a solopreneur. I sure hope not. I hope that, entitle you're a solopreneur because you don't have a huge team of people, but I hope you don't feel alone. And if you do, please reach out. We will find somebody to help support you, mentor you, guide you, coach you, support you in your business at such a, you guys, we have the power as women to empower other women by hiring them.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to hire, you're going to pay for it, y'all. You're going to pay for it. If you need help, you're either going to pay for it now, a little at a time, by hiring help, or in the end, it's going to become this big hot mess, and it's either going to fall, right? Fail, or you're going to get into such a fix that you're going to have to pay somebody to rescue you.
Mm-hmm.
So why not just invest in yourself a little bit? I don't know why I went on that tirade, whatever.
No, it makes sense. You were right there.
But anyway,
because I think that's what we forget. We talk about worth and we talk about that, and that includes money. It does include in exchange. Energy is an exchange. Work is an exchange. We have to really get into the idea of that. And yes, it does include money. We're not greedy. We don't want this, that, this. But yes, money, we live here. Money is part of it. And so thank you for saying that, because that makes absolute sense. I'm glad you were lived there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not, we want to make sure too that you guys,
right?
I'm sorry.
I said we didn't want to just end on that. That's not.
No. Like, we want to make sure you guys feel like we're not disappearing. We're still going to be posting social media. We've talked about, we still get together and talk like almost every day, at least once a week. If we only talk once a week, it's like, oh my God, I miss you so much. What is going on with you this week? I haven't talked to you. I haven't seen your face, and so we're still having these conversations, and we might even record them and drop a few nuggets, right, along the way of like just where we're at with our businesses or our lives or whatever. That's not completely, like, we might even just press the button and go live one day and be like, hey guys.
Right.
Just checking in, making sure you guys are still alive out there. But so we're not closing a door. We're creating space. We're creating space for more. And we're just so grateful for everybody that's been along for the ride. And we hope you still hang out with us. This podcast has been like a huge gift. I absolutely love doing these every week. That is not the problem, right? The meeting people, getting to know them, continuing relationships with them. I've hired guests. I have to help me. I've hired guests to help me. I don't think I've ever had a guest hire me, but no, probably not. But that's not what the podcast was about. The podcast wasn't about getting revenue. The podcast was about creating a safe space for women's voices in business, and modeling what we thought that would look like to benefit and fill a gap. The stories, the people, just the transparency and the vulnerability that everybody has shown. What we've proved is that we aren't alone in the struggles that we face, that there are plenty of us out there. There's plenty of community. And we don't take that lightly, that you guys have been here hanging out and listening to us babble at each other and talk with our guests.
Well, and I find it amazing. And we through the years, as we've talked about the growth and the change and stuff like that, and what you're doing. Now, I do want to say to everybody, Angelique's already kind of moving in a direction, and you can see little hints of that on Facebook. So definitely, well, but there's a lot of like, we're not going anywhere. We are still here, and if you need the help, definitely reach out. But there's so many women, and there's so many people, women being empowered and stepping into things, and role modeling and all of that, mentoring. So I encourage you all to continue to step into that and to normalize it. It's huge what's needed and in this world and in this business space. So all of you, and definitely check out what all of our guests are doing, because through the years they've all grown so many different things. The one that went on pause on their podcast, I'd be interested to see where we're going with those soon, because I'm sure they'll be back. So, but,
right,
yeah.
right.
Go check out Angelique. I am proud of her. And if you guys don't know, behind the scenes, Angelique has been. This is why we say we're not overwhelmed, but Angelique has been called to something, and she's finally stepping into it, and I'm super proud of her. I just love her. And that's what's exciting about all of this, is that, yes, this podcast is aligned and we love it, but what she's stepping into is going to be so amazing that you have to stay connected to see what happens, because we're all being called so many ways. You got to stay connected. Yeah.
And I'll share stuff on our social media. Laura will too, although she doesn't really post anyway. So she won't share. What are we talking about?
What is it? My cross that I always forget what Kim calls it. But I am a defying cast, which means if you tell me this, I'm probably going to do this. I am social media adverse. I don't mind doom scrolling for a little bit, and I've found some great people I love watching. Yeah, but I don't post.
Yeah.
You'll see it. It'll be out there from time to time. But mainly piggybacking off of Angelique, because I take advantage of Angelique that way. I'm like, oh look, she posted. I'm just sharing all her stuff. That works.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, like, absolutely. A lot of what I'm moving into is more local, but I still do virtual stuff too. So, if you're following me and you're like, oh my God, I wish I could do that, reach out. It's not out of, what's the word? It's not out of the scope, the realm of thought to think that would, that's a possibility in the future. It absolutely is. What I'm starting is women's circles. They're in person, but there are a lot of people doing virtual women's circles. I just feel like I need that in-person connection right now. And I feel like other people are craving that as well. So that's what I'm starting with, is the in-person events. And I love events. So that's how that happened. But so for Kathy, we will drop a link for Kathy's podcast. Her podcast is called Organized and Energized, the podcast, because that's the name of her business. But, she features women entrepreneurs talking about the same things we talk about, what their business journey has been like, not necessarily how to do the whatever, but how to do what we're doing. Like, how do you do this shit? This is how. Right. We really enjoyed having Kathy on the podcast. She was just on the podcast last month, episode 144, which I think is so interesting. 144. We need to look up that number.
144 is like, the chosen 144. If you're in the Fibonacci sequence stuff, it means a whole nother thing. It's like I'm not going to go into it, but it's the musical note of the Fibonacci sequence. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
But it's spiritual, very spiritual.
Yeah. So thank you guys for being here and hanging out with us. Of course, we're going to share updates. We're going to be hanging out and still doing things and posting things. We're just not every week. Just not every week, and not with guests right now.
Yeah.
And so
connected.
I think the message, if you guys hear, just skip to the end and all you hear is keep choosing alignment over the noise. There's a lot of noise right now. Keep choosing alignment, keep choosing yourself. And remember, sometimes the bravest thing you can do is pause and listen. Yeah. Anything else, Laura?
No, because I'm going to get choked.
Oh.
No, I think you're right. Yeah, it definitely. We love you guys. Again, we're not going anywhere, and I don't get to cry often. So, yeah. Take this moment, because even these little teeny tiny tears and red eyes, that's good. I'm not your sensitive one in the group. No, but no. For me, it's, I think bravery is pause, and that's what that is. And yeah. It's just out of routine. Okay, my ADHD brain just went, oh God, the routine just got broken. And that's the, I will kick that more action routine habit, and then more of the, Angelique and I will not be going anywhere. We still practice what we preach, and we still work together. We still conversate and support each other. So please do the same. Find your tribe. Come join ours if you don't have.
Yeah. So love you guys.
Love you.
We will see you next time. We just don't know when that is.
Have a good time.
Bye guys.